let's talk about Microsoft's move to Unify platforms.
Is the world coming to an end, or are angels among us?
So let me tell you something real quick.
Charlie, please tell us how it is.
This doesn't really matter because they're already doing this, okay? Xbox One and Windows 10, only Windows 10, share the same architecture. So saying that everyone's getting freaked out because, oh no, now games on my Xbox One are going to be playable immediately on my PC? Yes.
Why is that a bad thing? Explain to me why that would be a bad thing.
Yes, it started with Windows 10. Why is that a bad thing? Because a lot of people, because here's the issue. A lot of people see it from the PC to the console, and that is that a PC, you don't know what the innards of PC to PC are. With a console, you have a set processor, hardware.
You know what your hardware exactly is.
You know what so when you're a developer, you know exactly that everyone can play your game if your game works on an Xbox One.
Right.
But not everyone can play your game if it plays on a PC. It depends on the type of PC, how old the PC is, and how powerful the PC is. Now, here's the thing. This is not a new concept. There have been several different games, I think for the PlayStation 4 to the Vita, if you actually have a Vita, where it allows you to play on the PlayStation 4 and then take it on the road on your Vita. Now, of course, there's going to be some downscaling. So why would there not be any downscaling when it comes, like, okay, Xbox One still set in hardware, but if you are upscaling when you put it on the Windows 10, why wouldn't there be a couple extra options to make it even more pretty? I don't understand it because this unification is not only for the PC and the Xbox One, but it's also for your tablet and your phone. You cannot honestly tell me that a Windows 10 game is going to play at full resolution at full speed with everything turned up to ultra high on your cell phone.
Dude, I have an ultra phone.
No, you don't.
I do.
See?
I'm just saying, I don't understand. I don't understand why everyone's, going batshit nuts about this. This has been in the works as soon as Windows 10 came out.
See, Iconics, enjoy your vodka. Don't take vodka with pain meds. Seriously, not good.
They've basically been hinting at this the entire time. And let's be honest. Most everyone who has several different devices, be it a game system, a PC, a phone, a tablet, they want to be able to play the game. In a perfect world, we would love to be able to play the game seamlessly from device to device, depending on where we are. All right, this is an example that really fits nerds, but whatever. If we are playing a game on your Xbox or your PlayStation 4, you cannot tell me that if you have to take a dump, if you have the ability to transfer that game onto a mobile platform, you wouldn't take that opportunity so you continue to play the game, and so taking a dump wouldn't get into your gaming time.
I didn't like that analogy.
No,
but I'm saying.
Please move away from the dump analogy. You're not helping your argument here using a dump.
All right, fine. Let's say that you're playing a game and you have to leave for the fucking bus. What's not to like about the fact that you can seamlessly take the game that was on your console, continue it on your tablet while riding public transportation to work?
So you like the idea of this, is what you're saying?
It makes total sense.
He likes the end game. He doesn't like the in-between game.
We'll see how it works. Microsoft has a history of totally fucking things up, so I'm not totally convinced.
But they don't have an option here. They have to keep doing this stuff.
Well, look, here's the deal.
But just because they do it doesn't mean they're going to do it well. That's the problem with Microsoft.
Right, but at the same time, if you were to look at the Xbox One updates and also the Windows 10 updates, you'll see that they've become very, very similar in the look and functionality that's being presented.
Which is great. It still doesn't mean that Microsoft doesn't screw things up.
I'm not saying they're going to screw this. I'm not saying they're not going to screw this up. What I'm saying, though, is that they've already taken the steps before announcing this unification of platforms, that they're already there. They're just now officially talking about it. The thing is, I don't understand why. Certain developers are going to freak out because they think that now that the game that I'm going to make for the Xbox Live Arcade on the Xbox One can be played on the PC, or perhaps the game that I made for Steam is now going to be playable on the Xbox One, it's going to screw up in some direction. You're probably right, but maybe not. written in that architecture some kind of upscaling or downscaling to allow for that transfer between the
And
platforms.
that's maybe they don't want their game downscaled onto the other platform.
Why? Because now your game is going to be on 4 different platforms. That
Because
being
people
said,
are OCD about the way their games look. You pour your heart and soul and your entire life into the video game to design it the way you exactly want on the PC. It's going to look different on the Xbox, possibly, and you don't want that to happen.
let's say that
I don't
someone
think
doesn't
that's
have a PC, but they have an Xbox, but that
What are we
game is
fighting
on.
about?
Let's say that you made a game for the PC, and there's an audience out there that only has an Xbox One. They don't have a good PC.
But
or
shouldn't you be able to control what platform that your art and copyright gets developed
Yes,
onto?
but the times are changing. You got to change with the times.
if the game is
Technically,
available,
you can do whatever the hell you want.
if the game is available on, if the game has the potential, because the unification of Windows applications, that's what it's called, UWA, if that chance is there, then that means that you have a larger pool to pull from when you're trying to sell to the consumer. That being said, though, you're not going to have repeat buyers where you have it now. You have individuals who buy the game on the PC. It was so good that they bought it for the Xbox One, or it was so good on the Xbox One that they got it for tablet when it came out to the tablet. Now, because of that unification, you buy it once and now you can play it across
I think it
all.
just gave your exact argument of why maybe publishers don't like the idea.
But at the same time, if someone doesn't have all those platforms and they only have one, they can still play the game.
But you just gave the exact opposite example where people might buy it on 2 different platforms.
Correct.
Wait,
That's a
question.
risk you're willing to take.
If you
as a
buy
developer.
it on one platform, do you have to buy it on the other? If you
No.
buy it on one platform, it's on all platforms.
It's on all platforms. For you, it's going to be tied to, the wonderful thing about Microsoft is they're going to tie it to your email account, whatever the fuck it is. So it's not like you could just, they're probably going to be very, very picky about it. I don't think they're going to allow for like a family set. It's probably going to be a phone, a tablet, a PC, and the Xbox One.
Yeah.
That's probably where it's going to be. But
what happens like if you have your PC and it's attached to 3 different Windows Live accounts?
True.
then when you log into yours, you get to play it. If you don't, it's probably going to be user specific.
I don't have any Microsoft games on my computer, so I don't know.
It's like
They're all the same.
what some of those companies are trying to pull. I think it's like video software, or maybe it's audio software, where they tie it to the user, not to the PC. The one thing about Microsoft, not something I'd ever hear anyone say. You're probably right. That being said, so does Sony. Basically, any console manufacturer knows how to screw things up.
Touche.
Nintendo has, because of their, we're just going to stay in this niche market and we're not going to try to play big ball with the heavy hitters, and so everyone's going to think, we're a gimmick console and never buy anything.
Learn how to spell.
He doesn't know how to spell. Don't worry about it.
It's overrated. It's phonetics.
He's got autocorrect.
Microsoft.
And then Sony, of course, keeps screwing themselves over with the delayed release of the PlayStation 3, the wonderful life of the PSP Go, and so many other things. So there's no perfect system out there. Yes, does Microsoft screw the pooch a lot, especially with their operating system? Absolutely. But there is not a hardware manufacturer or OS developer who's got it right. Case in point, Steam OS. I have a PC. I don't need a Steam box because my PC could do more than the Steam box. And I could change shit inside my PC, where a Steam box, I have to go buy a new one.
I'm still waiting to see how the Steam box is 3 years from now, to see what makes it more of a actual interesting gaming PC device, console, PC, what we're actually calling it, 3 years from now versus today. Because yes, when any hardware device, when it's first released, everybody always looks at it and it's like, what the hell is this? It's years out when it actually gets the full vision of the manufacturer. So that's why I'm waiting to withhold judgment on the Steam box in 3 years from now.
Look, here's the deal. The only thing that's going to save the Steam box, in my opinion, is the fact that, or perhaps the ability of when the HTC Vive comes out, in the next iteration of the Steam box, that there is a more one-to-one ratio because of the way the SteamOS functions within the box in comparison to having to go through Windows 10 to get to Steam. That's the only thing that I think would potentially save the Steam box. Man, I'm saying that being said a lot. But anyways, that being said, the VR helmet or goggles are going to be expensive, so not everyone is going to buy it, and so not everyone who's going to have a Steam machine is going to have that connection. So why not just buy a PC for the exact same price?
Then that's why I'm waiting to withhold judgment until a couple years from now when Steam can actually make it a value proposition that you don't see today.
If the Steam box still exists,
It will.
It'll still exist a couple years from now. I would be willing to.
It could go the path of the Dreamcast. Though there is a petition, actually there's a rumor that Dreamcast 2 is coming out. I don't know how.
Yeah, but Steam also has a much more reliable income stream than Sega did at the time.
Yes, but they also have a much more reliable way of playing their games. It's called just play it on your fucking PC.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is
That's not a,
Steam can afford to sink money to the Steam box for the long-term goal of having everything on their system. Sega didn't have that luxury, so that's why I think Steam can stay in this for a couple of years with their Steam box.
That's Valve, by the way. Valve owns Steam.
Yes.
Steam is not their own.
Thank you for the semantical correction.
You're welcome. Well, since you're doing it to me, I guess I'm going to give it back to you.
Fair enough.
All right, so here's the deal. I don't care how much money Valve sinks into this, unless they can find a way to drop the price on the Vive, maybe bundle it with the Steam box. I don't think the Steam box is going to stick around long term.